Good morning, class. Today we're going to talk about first aorist active and middle indicative. Last meeting we talked about second aorist active, and so today this is the first aorist active, and this is the most common, or we say more common forms than the second aorist. We should say second aorist refers to the irregular forms. Okay, so we may skip to this one. So overview, in this chapter, we will learn that first aries are formed regularly by adding an augment, tense formative sa, and secondary endings to the aries tense stem. For example, elusa. Remember luo? Luo, so this is the um, first person active aries. First aries active indicative first person. Most first aorist tense stems are identical to their present tense stems. When the sigma of the tense formative is added to a stem ending in a stop, the same changes we saw in the future also occur in the first aorist. For example, blepo, we add the augment epsilon and it becomes eblepsa. Ebelepsa. Remember when pi you add the sigma, it becomes a psi, such as we see here in this form. Contract verbs lengthen their final stem vowel before the tense formative, just as they do in the future. The genau becomes a genesa. A genesa. Liquid stems use alpha as a tense formative and not sa or sigma alpha. As we discussed in the previous chapter, English forms its past tense in two different ways. An irregular verb alters its stem. I am eating my lunch now. I ate my dinner last night. A regular verb adds ed to the stem. I clean my desk every day. I cleaned mine last year. So as we also discussed in the previous chapter, Greek has two ways of forming the aorist tense. The second aorist is the Greek equivalent of the English irregular formulation. We've learned about this in our previous meeting. That was, of course, before the lunch fellowship. The verb stem is altered to form the different tenses. Now, the first aorist is the Greek equivalent of the English regular formulation. In the first aorist, instead of altering the stem of the verb to form the aorist stem, the tense uses a tense formative sa, sigma alpha. The majority of verbs in Greek follow this pattern. Now, on translation, the aorist active is normally translated with a simple English past indicating undefined action. I studied. Whether a verb is a first or second aorist has no connection to its meaning, just its form. Remember that aspect is primary and all the aorist tells you is that an event occurred. It tells you nothing more about the aspect of the event. And the aorist is not necessarily punctiliar, it is undefined. So characteristics of the first aorist, there is this augment, usually an epsilon, the aorist active tense stem, such as in the example, the lu, and then tense formative sa plus a secondary active personal endings, such as the example provided here. This is first person plural. Remember the ending of men, elusamen. Notice that there are no connecting vowels. The tense formative is sa, sigma alpha, and therefore a connecting vowel is unnecessary. And so we see the examples here, and there is this comparison with the imperfect and the second aorist, practically the lambano. Okay? So luo, elusa, elusas. So I'm referring to the second column. The first aorist elusa, elusas, elusen, elusamen, elusate, elusan. So the way we memorize it, sasasen, samen, satisan. Sa, sasen, samen, satesan. That's how we memorize the endings for the first aorist first first aorist tense. And the translation is there: I lose, you lose, you lose singular, he, she, it lose, we lose, you lose, plural form, and they lose. And the augment, the first aorist is augmented just as the second aorist and imperfect. The aorist active is formed from the first aorist tense stem, which is generally the same form as the present tense stem. If the aorist stem of a verb is different from the present, the verb will usually have a second aorist. Now, in the tense formative, Greek adds a tense formative between the stem and the personal endings to form the first aorist in the same way that it adds sigma to form the future. The first aorist active tense formative is sa, as you could see in the chart, second column, first aorist. You could see sa, sa, sen, sa, men, sa, tesan. So there is the third singular is the exception. With the instead of sa, it becomes se or sen. Because the tense formative ends with a vowel, there is no need for a connecting vowel. And so the personal endings are added directly to the tense formative. The tense formative for the active is easy to spot. The only time it alters its form is the third person singular, where instead of the sa, it is se. I believe I've already mentioned that. Now, on personal endings, the first aorist active uses secondary personal endings because the aorist tense is augmented. This means it has the same personal endings as the imperfect and second aorist, except in the first person singular. If you have been memorizing the personal endings in a combination of connecting vowel and a personal ending, then you may not see the similarity between the endings in the first aorist and in the imperfect as clearly. But if you have been keeping the connecting vowel and personal ending distinct, such as the Omicron plus men, then you already know the endings used in the first aorist. For contract verbs, as was the case in the future, contract verbs lengthen their contract vowel before the tense formative. Agapao becomes egapesa. So the addition of the sa and then the omega drops off, replaced by the sa ending, and then the alpha lengthens, it becomes eta instead. 2311, steps ending in a stop. We have already seen how the stops change when followed by a sigma, both in third declension nouns as well as in verbs in the future. What was true in the future is also true in the first aorist active. First aorist stems ending in a labial form, a psi, when joined to the tense formative. Stems ending in a velar, including aso, verbs form iksi. Stems ending in a dental, including idzo and adzo, lose the dental. So the examples are there. For the blepo, it becomes eblepsa. And then the three bow, it becomes etripsa. Etripsa. And then the grapho, added with the sa, it becomes the phi plus the sigma, similar to the pi. Then it becomes a grapsa. And then for tleco, you add the sa as an the ending, it becomes eplexa. And then pinigo, it becomes epnixa. And then brexa, ebrexa. Now, following a few more examples, here is preudo. It becomes espeusa. And then peitho, it becomes epesa. Pesa. Okay, now let's take a look at second aorist stems with first aorist endings. Occasionally, you will find certain second aorist forms with an alpha instead of an omicron as the connecting vowel. Instead of apon, you will find apan. Instead of elton, you will find elthan. There is no difference in meaning, just in form. And then liquid aorist, the chart is augment plus aorist active tense stem plus the tense formative and alpha instead of the regular sigma alpha plus the secondary active endings. So, may na men. Okay? Instead of adding sa as the tense form of liquid verbs, add only alpha and then sometimes modify the tense stem. The paradigmatic verb used here is meno. The phenomena of the liquids affect only future and aorist tenses. They will not come into consideration in any of the remaining chapters. So the paradigm for meno is emeina, emeinas, emeinen, emeinamen, emeinate, emeinan. So notice the ending. Instead of sa, it becomes just the alpha. The first aorist, the regular is sa, sen, samen, sad. Here we have removing the sigma. It's as, en, amen, ate, an. Okay, amen, ate, an. And so the translation is provided. I remained, you remained, he, it remained, we remained, you remained, and the you remained plural, and then they remained. As you can see, meno has altered its stem in the aorist tense. The epsilon has changed to epsilon iota. All verbs that occur 50 times or more and have a liquid aorist are listed in Appendix 396. And the forms, the keys to recognizing a liquid aorist are two. The final stem constant is a liquid. The tense formative is alpha, not sigma alpha. On the aorist middle indicative, like the future, the aorist uses distinct forms for the middle and the passive. Amounts indicated. We will learn passive in the next chapter. Like the future middle, the aorist middle is identical to the aorist active, except that it uses middle or passive personal endings. So it begins with the augment plus aorist active tense stem, the tense formative sigma alpha, and then the endings for secondary middle or passive personal endings. And it's still following the luo in its aorist passive or aorist middle. It becomes a lusa men. Notice the continuing use of the sigma alpha. And then the endings for the passive. Elusa main. So we follow elusa main, eluso, elusato, elusametha, elusaste, elusanto. Okay? So the sigma alpha is consistent except for the second person singular, which is eluso. And so there, I lose, you lose, it lose, we lose, you lose, they lose. You know that a verb is a middle deponent in the aorist if the first tense form of the verb listed in the lexicon ends in main. Like the arneomai, I deny eru no main. Okay, eru no main. That's the aorist passive. So likely it was I was denied. Ernos arne somai. Okay, this is the yeah, that's the present passive of arneomai. And then erne sa main, that is the first aorist passive. And then erne mai. Okay, so the middle voice, up to this point, every middle we have seen is deponent and therefore has an active meaning. There is another situation we need to look at. A few verbs have one meaning in the active and another in the middle. The most common example of this is arco, I rule, or I begin, which in the active means I rule, but in the middle, arcomai, I begin. So arco, active, is I rule, but arcomai, which is in the deponent, is I begin. And then up to, I light, or in the act of lighting a fire. Up to my is I touch. So don't ask me what happened. And so, summary, a verb that has a first aorist stem forms its aorist active by adding an augment, tense formative, the sigma alpha, and secondary personal endings to the aorist tense stem. The aorist middle is a distinct form, uses from the passive, and is formed in the same way as the active, except that it uses middle or passive personal endings. Like the second aorist, the first aorist describes an undefined action, usually occurring in the past time. Verbs with stems ending in a stop behave in the aorist as they do in the future in reference to the sigma of the tense formative. Contract verbs lengthen their final stem vowel before the tense formative. Liquid aorists use alpha and not sigma alpha as their tense formative and sometimes modify their tense stem. This is the verb chart. Of course, you need to look at the bottom section. First aorist active, and this is for elusa. Okay, elusa, emena, and then the second aorist active, which is previous lesson, lambano becomes elabon. Okay. Another set of words to familiarize, aperkomai. So this is the erkomai plus the prefix apo is depart. So it becomes I depart. And then arco, in the active is I rule, but in the middle it is I begin. Arkomai. And then arksomai is the future. Erksamen is the aorist middle passive. And then grapho, I write, it becomes egraphon. Grapso is the future tense, and egrapsa. Egraphon is imperfect. And then egrapsa is the first aorist. Dio, therefore, or for this reason. And then doxazo, I praise or honor, glorify. And then edoxazon. Okay, and doxazo is the future. I will praise or I will honor. And edoxasa is the aorist form of doxazo. So, and then dunamis or dunameos, meaning power or miracle. A familiar word that we know is the dynamite, the explosive, explosive. So, yeah, just notice the similarity of English alphabets that were used. And then kerutson means I proclaim or I preach. Keruson is the imperfect. Kerukso is the future, I will proclaim. And then keruksa is the first aorist. And then pino, I drink. Epinon is the imperfect. Piomai is its passive. And then epion is its aorist form. So, akuo is ekusa. Dunamai, perhaps there's no appearance of an aorist form for dunamai. Thelo, in the Greek New Testament I'm referring to, thelo is etelesa. Luo, you've seen it, elusa. Pisteo is episteusa. Oreomai is a passive, so it has no aorist form. And then steps ending in a stop. Baptizo is ebaptisa. Ebaptisa. Blepo is eblepsa. Didasco is edidaxa. Proseucumai is proseuxamen. And then sozo is esusa. Contract stems with the aorist form. Agapao, it becomes egapesa. Akoloteo is ekolotesa. Genau is egenesa. Zao is ezeisa. Zeiteo is ezeitesa. Kaleo is ekalesa. Laleo is elalesa. Pleiruo is epleirosa. Poieo is epoiesa. Proscuneo is prosecunesa. Tereo is eteresa. Aorist forms for the liquid. Aero is era. Apocteno is apoctena. Apostelio is apostela. Egero, egera. Crino is ecrina. Meno is emena. Okay? So let's try some of the examples here in exercise 23. So for the warm-up, poloi episteusan is to onoma auto. Poloi refers to many, and so here it is many people, or many people. And then episteusan, so this is the third person plural, aorist of pisteo. So many people believed in his name. Okay. And then egrapsen, humin, ten, entolin, tauten. So entolin, tauten is this epistle. Egrapsen is sasasen, so third person, singular, he, she, it. He wrote to you this epistle, or this commandment, sorry. Entolen, that it's not epistle, it's entolen. This commandment. And then kayutos, ekalesen, utos. And immediately, ekalesen is from kaleo, sasasen, so that's third person singular. He called autos them. Okay, autos them, the plural. Accusative plural. And then keruksan, so that's from keruso, I priso, sasasen, samen, satesan. So that's third person plural. Ekeruksan, they preached, and many demons were thrown, Exebalon, many demons were thrown out or thrown away. And then Egeiren, Auten, Sasasen, from Egeiro. So Egeiro is I raise up. So this is Egeiren, Sasasen. So third person, he woke Auten. So this is, so he woke her. Auten is feminine. Odi apekrinato Oden. So apokrinomai is I answered. So this is apekrinato, the one who answered. Uden. Uden is never. So the one who never answered. The and the one who never answered. So I choose and, so de as and. Elten un kay erento soma auto.